Okay. Observe here. So I have written this for your understanding purpose. Okay. At the time T1, we have predicted that the process P1 will request the resource R2. Okay. When at time T1, it will request anta. Next, we have also predicted that process P2 will request resource R2 at time T2 ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Okay, just for your understanding purpose, I have written this. So that's why we have converted this claim edge into the request edge, right? Similarly, this claim edge is also converted into a request edge ಆಗಿ convert ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. Correct? So can you see this one? So that's why I have written these request edges here instead of these claim edges. Okay, so now you have to check whether there is any cycle formation in this graph. No, there is no cycle formation in this graph, correct? So then we can easily say that the system will not going to enter the deadlock state yavaga when you grant the request for the particular process anta. Okay, so that's why the system is also called as a safe state system anta karitivi. So that's how you are avoiding whether the system is entering the deadlock state or not by constructing the resource allocation graph like this. Okay, now observe the same thing here. Observe the right part of your slide, the second diagram what I have taken. Okay, so I will just change this one. Now check. Now at time T1, we are predicting that the process P1 will request resource R2 at time T1 anta ನಾವು predict ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, so that's why we have written one claim edge here. Claim edge. Okay, so means P1 will request for the resource R2 in future. Now at time T1 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈಗ? So now we are trying to convert that claim edge into a request edge. Okay, so that's why I will write this particular arrow mark to you just for the explanation point of view. So this is the edge which is converted from a claim edge into a request edge. I have converted. Now can you see any cycle formation in this diagram? Please unmute yourself and tell. Is there any cycle formation here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? So whenever there is a cycle formation in the graph, it indicates what? The system is in a deadlock state anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದು. Okay, correct? So that's why whenever a system is in deadlock state, we can easily say it is unsafe state anta alwa, correct? So that's why the graph is saying that the system is unsafe state. Clear with this? So whenever a system is an unsafe state, ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? So we will not assign this resource. Yavado resource R2, we are not assigning it to process P1 because we will know that if I assign the resource to the process P1, it will enter the deadlock state anta nimige ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. So that's how you are avoiding your system from entering into the deadlock state. Okay, by observing these resource allocation graphs. Is it clear to all of you? So here we have observed that if we assign the resources to these processes P1 or P2, there is no cycle formations. So that's why, so this system is in safe state. But in this particular graph, if we try to assign the resource to the requested process, it might result in a deadlock. So your system will become unsafe anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So that is the one solution. Okay, that is your resource algorithm solution for avoiding the deadlock. So hope it is clear to all of you now, right? So the next algorithm what we are discussing is Banker's algorithm. So this is one more thing. So it is usually asked for some 10 to 12 marks, the problem, Banker's algorithm. Okay, so when this algorithm is used antandre, So we know that your resource allocation graph is applicable only if you have single instance of resources. Howda? But normally we will be having multiple instances of resources in our system. In that case, your resource allocation graph is not suitable. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, we will go for Banker's algorithm. So Banker's algorithm is applicable only if you have multiple instances of resources. Multiple instances ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, 2 dots ಅಥವಾ more than 2 dots ಇಂದ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. That's what multiple instances indicates. Okay, ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು we can use Banker's algorithm to avoid the deadlock situations. So, okay, right. Now why Banker's algorithm and why the name is given antantandre, so this kind of an algorithm is usually used in the banking systems alli use ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Okay, where so your bank will be continuously predicting. Okay, so if I give the available money to the customers, whether I am able to satisfy the cash requirement of all my customers, ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಡಿಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕು. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಯುವರ್ Banker's algorithm was used. So that's why the same name is given here. Okay, right? So that is the third point is saying this is commonly used in banking systems where your bank is assuring that whether the available cash is enough, okay, to satisfy all my customer needs ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ. That's why this algorithm is used. Fine. So the same Banker's algorithm we are using in our computer system also to check for deadlock, whether deadlock has occurred or how to avoid the deadlock. Another we are using this algorithm also, Banker's algorithm. Fine, right? Okay, now how this Banker's algorithm work antandre, so whenever any process enters your system, it has to declare, okay, how much maximum resources it needs ಅಂತ ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಅದು ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ if we have some 3 processes ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, when 3 processes enters into the system, they have to declare themselves that so process P1 needs 5, that is a maximum resource I need. Process P2 3, that is a maximum resource process P2 needs. Similarly process P3 5, that is a maximum resource I need anta they have to declare themselves. Okay, and one more thing is whatever the resource they are requesting, it should not exceed the maximum limit. That is the last next point says the resources what they are giving a request, it should not exceed the total number of resources in your system. That is a one more thing should be taken into consideration. Okay, first one, it has to declare how many maximum resources each process needs. Second one, the maximum resources should not exceed the total number of available resources. Right. So last one, you can observe here, system will check whether the allocation of this resources, okay, the any process which has requested the resource, okay, if we grant these resources to the process, okay, whether my system will remain same, means whether my system will remain safe or not anta check madutte. If your system will not remain safe after the allocation, then you are not going to give the resources to the process, or you are not going to allocate the resources to your process. Okay, so that is how you are avoiding the deadlock in a system. Clear with this concept? Okay, that's what the last point is saying here. Okay, right. So your Banker's algorithm, we are again dividing into 2 different algorithms. So the first algorithm is to check the safe state of the system, whether the system is safe or not ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು algorithm use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, it is a part of your Banker's algorithm, so that is called as safety algorithm ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, right. So before discussing that, we will see what are all the variables we use or the data structures we use in our bankers algorithm. Okay, the first one is available anta. It is a vector. Okay, so what does this variable is used antandre used anta? It is used to indicate how many number of resources are available in the system anta nimage ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ at particular point of time. It can be time t0, or it can be time t1, or it can be time tn, anything. What at a particular point, how many resources are available, that can be indicated using the variable available. So here is an example I can show you. Available of I is equal to k. What does this indicates? So there are k instances of resource type ri anta artha. It can be any resource. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಟೇಪ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಆರ್ ಐ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಟೇಪ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್, ಸೊ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೆ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 5 ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ 5 ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೇಪ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ while solving the problem on bankers algorithm. Okay, right. So second variable which we use in our bankers algorithm is called max. Max ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು, whenever any process enters, it has to declare how many maximum resources it needs ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ವಾ. So to represent that one, I need a variable called max. So it is a matrix. So 2-dimensional array you need here. So that's why I have taken it as a matrix. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಇದು? It defines the maximum number of resources which each process needs ಅಂತ. That is on demand. So it is how we write in our problem. Henge max of I j anta bariತೀವಿ is equal to k. What does this indicates? Okay, the process pi may request maximum at most anta ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. Okay, how many instances? K instances of resource rj anta artha. That's what this line indicates. Okay, the highlighted part indicates. Okay, fine. Next, third one is allocation. Now what does allocation indicates? So it is once again a matrix which tells how many resources are being allocated to each process anta nimage heluttadu. Okay, so you can see one example I have taken here. Allocation of ij is equal to k. What does this indicates? The process pi is currently allocated how many instances? K instances of resource rj anta heluತ್ತೆ. That's what that highlighted part indicates. So last variable which we use in our bankers algorithm is called need anta artha. So need antandre eno? So how many resources which are initially some resource it is requested, some resource process is requesting some resources alva. How many additional resources it is expecting? That additional resources calculation is called as need matrix anta kariತೀವಿ. Okay, so this is a formula for that. Need of ij is equal to how many maximum resources are available minus allocation value. Okay, maximum resources minus allocated resources. That will give you the actual information of how many resources are actually needed by the process anta artha. Okay, so this is a formula. So we are using this formula while solving the problems on bankers concept. Okay, right. Okay, fine. So let's end the today's session. So we will try to discuss the safety algorithm concept in the next class. Okay.